Yo, what up, barflies? You already know who it is. It's Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. I'm coming to you live from the 215, your comic book connoisseur, your Somali of sci-fi and superheroes, here to welcome you to the Blerd Bar. That's right. We are not. Well, I'm not by myself. What are we not?
We are not
White.
not white, and we are by ourselves.
We are
It's
by
just
ourselves.
us.
Just the
I had
two
no
of
segue
us.
there.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles in the sky.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Tis I, hailing from the land of Sake, Shinobi, and Samurai. The boy is Godzilla personified. Ain't no other name but this to go by. It's your boy. Jayhawk. Yes. Pterosaur.
By the way,
Pterosaur.
which is great because like Rodan is technically a pterosaur.
You think so? You think he's a pterodactyl?
I refuse to acknowledge that, and I won't be upset by it because I'm healing.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know what that means, but you know, I'm gonna say that. That's what I'm gonna say on camera.
We love to see it. We love to hear it.
What's the cocktail for today?
The cocktail for tonight is the Wind Rider.
Ooh,
Yeah,
sounds like a
it's,
theme.
It is a theme. It is in honor of Ororo.
Monroe.
And yeah, her last name is Monroe. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, Monroe's Madness. The Wind Rider.
I like the Wind Rider.
You like the Wind Rider?
I picked it.
Okay,
So
yeah, I know. Monroe's Madness, and
It's not hitting.
it didn't hit.
It's not hitting for me.
It's also she wasn't mad, right?
She
Protect black
She
women.
get mad.
She get mad, but like,
Nah.
anywho,
Yeah. Go ahead.
the Wind Rider. It is
Why
in
you talking
honor
about
of
it?
Storm, and this is how you make it. What's up, barflies from across the multiverse? We are here to create another drink, and I'm excited to say that this drink is inspired by the one, the only Storm, Ororo Monroe herself. This is going to be a fun twist on a dark and stormy, and I say fun twist because we wanted to keep it actually light and like with inspiration coming from her original white suit from like the X-Men series. So with that being said, let's get into it. First, you're going to need some 10-to-1 rum, crystal version, obviously. Secondly, you're going to need some Pratt Standard ginger, true ginger syrup. Really good ginger syrup there. Third, you're going to need some some glitter, some edible glitter. We're on that kick. Fourth, you're going to need pure lemon. And then finally, you're going to need Q ginger beer. Shout out to Sterling for putting us on to Q ginger beer. So yeah, Q is for queen, Storm's a queen. The lemon, as I said, and there's actually gonna be some lemon expression coming later on. That's the yellow with that white suit. There's like little like snippets of it, plus like the lightning, so that's fun. The glitter makes it sparkle, that's a lot of fun. Rum, it's black owned, Ororo's black, you know, stay black. And then the ginger cocktail, or the ginger syrup rather, it's a dark and stormy, you need that ginger aspect, and we suspect it's gonna be a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's build. All right, let's get the building. First up, just gonna put some edible glitter into the tin, using 1/4 teaspoon. You don't need a lot, especially if you're making this like one drink. So just do that. All right. After you've added the glitter, you just need 1/4 of the ginger syrup. Then you need 1/4 of the lemon juice. Next, you're going to need 2 ounces of the 10-to-1 rum. All right, then you're gonna shake it up. I would say 15 seconds per drink that you're making. 1 cube. And because there's not that much in here, you don't need a ton of cubes. I'm only gonna get second one. And then, like I said, shake for 15 seconds. Pour it out. Then finally, you're gonna wanna do 1.5 ounces of the ginger beer. Gonna float that right on top. And then last but not least, you are gonna want to have a lemon expression. Now, that you just want to, let's move this out of the way. Just wanna squeeze it, poke it, twist it, you know, pull it and whatnot, really get it over there to express the oils, right? Rub it around the rim, drop it in. And there you have it, the Wind Rider. Now, let's take a taste. Oh, that is such a fun drink. It does give you dark and stormy, but the lemon brightens it up a lot. And it's a light drink. Aptly named the Wind Rider because it's so light and not airy per se, but it's just not a heavy drink. And sparkles is fun. The ginger comes through obviously really well. The rum is really nice. Yeah, this is a great drink. Try it out, the Wind Rider. Cheers.
And we're back. Thanks.
All right. Giggity, 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 goo. But yeah, no. This is your first time trying it.
It is.
So I would love to hear your
It's
thoughts.
bright.
Uh-huh.
Light palate wise though. Not bursting with flavor, but like you get the notes of like lemon. Is it gin based?
No.
No. I'm not tasting. Hold on.
This is fun because I tried to keep it. I tried to make it as much around her as possible.
Okay.
And I guess I can tell you because you're not in the clip.
I
cut. Like, so,
I have no.
Right.
I'm going into this.
So by the time you guys see this part, you'll know what it is. But like, yeah, we'll have.
I
this
still don't
moment.
know. I still don't know. So tell me.
Okay.
This is what I'm. It's kind of what I was leading into,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Like, tell me.
So 10-1 rum.
Ooh.
Yeah. White.
Okay, I'm getting the that banana
Rum.
that they have in there.
And I use Q ginger beer. Shout out to Sterling who put me on to Q ginger beer. Q for Queen.
Okay.
And then you have the edible glitter that makes it sparkle. You also have the ginger syrup because what I wanted to do is and like I said, you guys know this already, but this is real time. Tenet. So what I wanted to do was do a cool take on a dark and stormy.
I like.
But like have it be because her original suit is white and yellow.
Which is
so that's why it's
I'm
clear.
loving this, man.
Yeah, it's a clear, dark and stormy. And
Can
then you have a
copyright? I don't know if we can copyright it, but like
and then you have the lemon expression for the yellow in her suit and electricity.
I am getting, now that I get closer to the bottom, the ginger is starting to come through a little bit more. The ginger,
I feel like that
kinda,
ginger hits.
The ginger is
early.
kind of also tweaking the rum to feel gin based in my mind.
I see that. I see what you're saying.
But this might be my favorite cocktail of the season.
Ooh.
We're only episode 7.
Well, there's only
There's only 3 more left. But, I'm saying for me, Big Dan, personally, this is probably my favorite.
This is something to that light mouthful that you talk about. It's very much the ginger is the only thing that makes you slow down, and if it wasn't for the ginger, this is still a patio. What Laura and I call a patio pounder, where like if you're out back or on a roof deck, they just keep rolling. Like,
if it's on a dispenser,
yeah, like,
tap
exactly. But that ginger does help you slow down a bit. But still, it's very easy.
I'm all in. I'm loving this. If I had to rate it, this is probably a 5 for me.
Ooh, you don't give out 5s too often.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You did a really good job on this because I feel like we workshopped it in like communications, but I didn't make it right. Like I was just kind of like, what if? And what if
you said the thing about edible glitter, which. Shock and surprise is a thing nowadays, at least now.
But I was trying to tell you.
But when you said it, it could have been, but I don't know if it was.
You don't be on socials like that sometimes.
That's true. That's very true.
You know, Grandpa Josh be like, kids these days.
As a matter of
can't
fact,
drink a straight cocktail. They gotta have glitter in it.
Never said
Everybody's
that.
in a soft guy era.
Said that.
drizzle.
Never said that. Not gonna. Nope.
You know, black people.
Nope. Anywho, weird question for you, but for you guys, those who are Patreon, and if we know you personally, we've been reaching out about weird questions to send us. We have a question cat, and the weird questions that you guys tell us are going to go in the question cat or question kitty.
I would also even open it up, expand it to those who want to leave a weird question in the comments. We read in the comments. So if you have a weird question you want us to ask each other and answer on camera, you might get picked. Yeah. If it's a good one.
Also, just real housekeeping, camera.
I know, but I'm also like looking at stats
to make sure that
it's just the two of us.
It's just us.
So I'm watching to make sure.
Roll it back.
Right. I'm making sure that the live don't go down.
Fair. But yes, you guys.
you there. Because Josh will tell me once he goes back and watches this, stop looking at the screen.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at y'all now and saying my bad.
Yeah.
So from here on out, I'm just looking at you. Just so I don't run the risk of being like, but yes. Weird questions.
Weird questions. We got one here. We got one ready.
We got one.
Here we go. Weird question of the night. First weird question from Question Cat. What's one live action reboot you think makes the franchise worse off and that should have been left alone?
Ooh.
A reboot that makes it worse off.
Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan.
Pero like... Oh, I mean, but the first was...
You said reboot.
That's true. We did.
Did
say reboot.
Because technically, yes.
You did say reboot.
The Jessica Alba one is considered a reboot because there was a Fantastic Four movie in the 80s. 70s. We don't talk about Bruno. We do not talk about Bruno.
So, but that begs the question, like, what technically is a reboot? Because I feel like there are
if the IP is word for word the same title, I call that
Fantastic Four.
That's a reboot to me.
A reboot.
If it don't have the same title, spinoff, sequel, right? Reboot, same words, same sequence of words.
Sure. Would that count as a live action reboot? Because I think
all of them were live action.
That's the thing. The fact that he said, what's one live action reboot? I feel like maybe it was a book or a cartoon.
Like an adaptation?
Sure, but like it was like at least from the way I'm reading the question, what's like, one live action a cartoon reboot, and then they made it into action? Like Fantastic, if Super Friends
Fantastic Four.
Right, I think that still applies. But now you can say
the
first one.
You want to try me on this? Fantastic Four. It just don't work for me.
I would say
I'm also worried about what the MCU is going to do with this up and coming one. But I like Pedro. I don't know if I like him for this role.
But it's the okay. So one, it's the MCU.
It's also a flashback.
A flashback. Say more.
60s. They're going back to the 60s.
Oh, but this is like an origin story, I should say.
Origin story back in the 60s.
And then we're probably going to see them
get lost in the multiverse and then land in
someplace in modern time. Yeah. I would say, dang, I had it and then I lost it. It was a
Also,
mm-hmm.
real quick,
Mm-hmm.
Question Kitty has been renamed to Nandeska Neko.
I love it. I love it. I've been trying to say Neko.
Nandeska Neko.
Nandeska Neko-chan. Nani.
My wife.
Nani Neko.
Not even. Listen, I understand it sounds like nepotism or bias. My wife be coming in with some bangers.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
She supports the brand, and she wants us to be better. So I feel like
she's probably like, how did he not see that?
How did he miss it? She was like, missed opportunity. I would have heard about it later and been like, you know why? So we're going to course correct live and fix it.
Nandeska Neko-chan.
Thank you. Because I know you watching. I love you, babe. That's not for nobody else but my wife. Yeah. Anyway. Who did you pick?
For the live action reboot. I was going to say, Death Note.
Okay.
But it wasn't, and the thing about Death Note is, I don't even, because one, I didn't see it because I heard how bad it was, but I also didn't have faith in them. Or Full Metal Alchemist.
Ooh, which I did watch.
The issue, I think I would stick heavily with Death Note.
Mm-hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist, they were just doing anime reactions in a live action thing, and it doesn't translate well.
It's not ever going to translate well.
So
it will be. It's like watching a bunch of weebs.
Yeah,
in a room.
It was just weird, but I get what was happening. Death Note, I just heard it was bad. So it is what it is.
Honorary mention. Not Full Metal Alchemist. M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
It almost ruins your desire to even watch the Netflix one.
Honestly,
like I don't even want to risk it.
Like,
it's just like,
oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I watched it.
Okay,
I watched all of it, and some of it was begrudgingly, and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, like I said, I think we actually did talk about it. I was like, I think Netflix, that is their 67 Corvette that they like live action reboots and redos or whatever, or live action tellings are just their project in the garage that they will continue to tinker on.
I also feel like the showrunners quitting is always a red flag for fans of the IP, like the original IP. But yeah.
Speaking of,
great weird question. Let us know if you guys have more. Leave them in the comments. If you haven't done so already, like the video,
share the video.
If you want, share the video.
Subscribe to the video.
Black people. I'm gonna use that sound a lot today. But let's see. Haven't seen it yet. But Parasite Reboot looks wonky, which is odd because they also did Parasite Reboot, and then there's a sequel on its way
already.
Yeah,
they like greenlit that.
Yeah,
wow, that's bold. Parasite is one of those things where I hope they do it justice.
I don't think I don't know. I don't think it needs to happen.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree. I think Parasite is one of those animes that like you should probably go full horror with. Not to say that the anime was like full horror, but like it's freaking weird. If you've ever watched the anime, right, it's super weird.
I know this is a weird pivot, but I feel like now it has to be talked about.
All right.
What should live action be for? Like, when you adapt something to live action, who's the audience for that?
Who's the target audience?
Right. Because it's not the original fans. Because you hate us so much. Like, who are you doing this for? Because the medium itself is available. It can be watched both in sub or dub. Who is it for? Is it just to say you could?
So the funny thing is, I feel like
9 times out of 10, the originators don't get the money.
Sure, but I feel like we talked about this before, and it was a lot of the times I feel like the thing that we landed on was to draw people in so that you can point them towards the original. As of right now, we said that like last year.
We did.
At least last season. It could have been legit last year.
Yeah.
As of right now, it's become such a cash cow. Like people are gonna watch it just to hate watch it, right? So like that's a good question on who's it for now, because is it still for the fans to hate watch? And like
but like
but then you think about something like Dune,
right,
where it's like it really, like, even I haven't seen the second one, but the first one really felt like I am a fan of this, and we are going to make this cool because now we have the technology.
Sure. And maybe that's what it is, that they think like we can fix what we thought was wrong with it. But some things have been so great. I would tell full-blown adults to go watch The Last Airbender. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's a fun time.
If
nothing else, it's a fun time.
Even when it gets to the dark parts, you're like, oh, maybe I can address something about me.
Is this healing?
Right. But I'm struggling sometimes because even for like the MCU, right? And we always talk about MCU burnout, which I don't think is a real thing, but I think more people are burnt out about the news around it all. Like,
I would argue that
because they go back and see them.
Sure, but I would argue that the burnout is from it comes from a statement that Kaiju Kent said on Afro Izakaya. Go watch that latest episode.
Shameless plug.
Right. That people are burnt out with it not ending. Right? Like close the book, like whatever story you're trying to tell, like close it and like put a period on it, and y'all keep putting like commas and like asterisks. Go watch such and such, or go read. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But if you honestly look back at a lot of this stuff, a lot of this ends on commas. It just does.
You say if you go back and watch?
Like, no, if you go back and like read comic books, a lot of comic books end on commas. So
sure,
the nature of the beast.
But it's a different medium.
Sure.
But
how much of a different medium is it unless you kill off every single character?
I think it's a really different medium because they legit had a, 10, 15 year run?
15-year run.
So it's like, y'all, you did it. You did it. You did it. It was amazing. You did it.
Right.
It's okay for you to like close that.
Shout out to J-Dub. I ain't got MCU burnout. I get it. But I also am like, you probably have burnout from a lot of other things too that you're just like, MCU burnout just seems like a popular thing to say. But I feel like you might have burnout from just reboots in general. You might have burnouts from like multiverse stories, multiversal stories into universes. Nah. You just want different universes, just not Marvel. So that's what it is. Okay. So target it.
At least I think
I'm the drama.
You might be. I think it's a valid point to be like, hey guys, wrap it up. Was that Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Wrap it up. That's all.
Sure. Or go read the comic books, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Or go read the comic books, because then it's like at your own pace, and you can like, it's not in the zeitgeist. It's your own personal little like,
right.
You know what I mean? Your own little retreat.
Part of me is like, no, I was going to say something that could have been like flipped. Y'all don't deserve the MCU.
Wow.
This was for us anyway.
So, honestly, on that note, that is a great segue to content, I have to say.
Talk about the content.
Because for content, we're talking about X-Men 97. Now, this drink comes out today because we were going to talk about X-Men 97, so I had to make it.
Also, you have not seen
the first 5 episodes.
The first 5 episodes
as of this recording.
You might want to.
If you plan on seeing it, if you're big on spoilers, you might want to.
If you just want to hear us talk about it, stay.
Yeah.
But
if you're trying
to
talk about it, So I only planned to watch it after I finished the original, like X-Men. Throwback.
That was going to take you forever.
No, it's like five seasons.
Yeah, but some of them seasons
30 minutes.
Some of them seasons are rough.
So yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it until later, and then episode 5 happened, and like fans everywhere lost their mind. So,
the Red Wedding.
Dan required of me to watch, and I was like, okay, like I wasn't gonna do it right now, but I guess I'll do it right now.
Appreciate it.
And so I did, and I think that X-Men 97 is for fans who already know what is going on. That is one of my biggest takes from it, because my other take is one, the animation is garbage. Or not where it should be. Okay. As someone who, like, you have to, like, I think the thing is, like, outside of watching the old stuff.
This made a really cool effect.
Outside of watching the old stuff, I'm watching, like, Mappa or Studio Trigger or, like, you know what I mean? Like, other things that are, like, putting in work. So
Marvel Animation Studios has their own studio. There's definitely some weird...
They needed to call up Visions.
I would almost argue it's, like, 2.5D. Like, not full 3D, but it's, like, 2.5D.
It's weird, and it needs to be better.
Well, have you watched, like, What If and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. It's the same animation. It is.
I think
with less shading. Like, they've tried to make it still feel 90s.
Yeah.
They put less shading on it.
And I think
that's the problem.
I think they should either go like a full 90s like take on it, or truly update it so that it, like, I don't know, it just looks weird. Anywho, also I think it's for the fans who know what's going on, I feel like the stories are a bit rushed. Because I remember texting you with watching the original. You're like watching the stories. First episode, Beast gets thrown in jail. They move on and like keep doing stuff, and like time progresses. Episode 7, he's still in jail, and they like visit him in a cell because they're breaking out Colossus, and he's like, "Oh, those are my homegirls, Rogue and Storm.
You can go with them.
Yeah,
I'm a stay.
It's like, oh wait, he has been in jail this whole time." So that was like a cool like callback. Yeah. But like they let the story breathe. Bro, I think it's episode 4. No, might be 3. It's episode 3. 1, there's a clone of Jean. 2, she's the Goblin Queen, and she said it, and nobody like made a joke. Nobody was like, "Where'd you get that from?" Nobody said anything, and it was like, cool, I guess that's your name now. And then I had to wiki it, and I'm like, oh, that could have been a 3 to 5 episode arc. Like, all right. And that's just that character.
Right. I will, in defense of your statement, I would argue that episode 3 is probably the most upsetting for me, because
not the first half of was that episode 4 when Jubilee gets trapped in the game?
No. I understand why people don't like that. Forget that.
Okay.
You don't remember.
All right.
But the Inferno episode is what I call it. Should have been the season.
I was about to say that could have been a whole season.
The season. Inferno is a full tilt storyline.
Seemed like it.
And
she learns witchcraft.
It's not even that.
It's not even talked about.
It's not even that. It's like she wakes up one day and chooses violence, and you're like, wait,
left,
right. On top of like Jean, not on at the end of the second episode, just knocking on the door and being like,
"Hey," and nobody's like, it's just
more people should have been upset.
Yeah,
not just like Scott being like,
what? And he wasn't even like that. He was like,
all girls
behind him
who had
with his baby. He's like, get out of here. Who's that? I'm like, bro.
She looks at me and I look at her.
Also, to that point, wild. Episode 4, I think it is. He's like, he goes upstairs and is like, I can't even believe I freaked out on them about the kids. And Jean is like, oh my goodness, how does that make you feel? Talk more. Da 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 da. And then omnipresent Jean pops up like, it's hilarious. I was like, ooh, she had some black woman in her. Excuse me?
That was episode 5.
That was episode 5?
Yeah.
Oh, episode 5 could have been a series, season ender. But anywho, but
I argued that as well.
This
is a season finale episode in the middle of the season, so I don't know how far or how high they go after this.
Right. This is, and that's another thing. This is very much like in the middle of it, in the thick of it. So like all of my quanderings or qualms with it could be resolved by the end of the season.
Or not.
But
the way Disney Plus has been
exactly
in our experience.
Exactly. So
I think the showrunner, Bo, before he got fired, was like, I like a lot of these X-Men stories. What if we just like did them all real fast,
back to back,
real fast? Just, black.
Here's the thing. Some of these stories really have like gravitas, and like you have to let that breathe. Like the Jean thing alone, like we said it before, could have been a whole season. And like I also am upset because Jean was like, "Excuse me, how you gonna talk to her?" Da da da. Yeah. Mind you, at best, a day ago, at worst, minutes ago, she jumped on Logan out of nowhere. I was like, that's crazy. That's wild.
All right, so there's so much to unpack. Honestly, with just
I just think it's funny how.
Right. But the Inferno storyline.
Sure, yeah,
itself,
we're back to that.
Right?
Yeah, go ahead, do that. That was
so expansive, covered issues, right? Not to mention, Madeline Pryor was around for so long before she dipped off and chose violence. And Scott was a bad husband then. Like, before finding out about Jean, was still like, I gotta be superhero out here. And she was like, you gonna leave me with the baby? And he was like, kinda. And then she like punched him. There's a whole panel about this.
But they don't really address that. Like they allude to it with Professor X is gone. I need to be big man on campus. But like, I think she had to have a baby in episode 2. And she has a baby in episode 2, becomes a clone and a witch in episode 3. Like
and then goes walking off into the sunset
after dropping off her baby with the time traveler, and it's like, all right, I'll catch y'all. And the next time we see her, she's in the UN for Genosha. She like has the biggest glow up in like a month. Like, what do you do? What was her Indeed? What was her profile? What was her resume that she was like, you know what?
She's also an
hitchhiker to freaking government official.
She's a clone of an Omega level mutant. If you don't put her in a place of power.
I get it. It was like just weird.
Leaving her to walk the streets alone, red flags.
It was a wild journey. It was a whiplash journey.
So overall, where we are in the middle of the season, episode 5, I want to walk back a lot of the statements I made when we started the. I'm having fun.
Really,
I'm having a great time. And I understand why some may not be. And that's okay. And, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I will say, I don't think I've ever spoke on it, but I think the most intriguing storyline to me is Storm and Magneto. Only because his angle and everything is like, are you for real? Like, it's always like, I'm always waiting for the trap card to be revealed.
Now you don't
but
worry anymore.
I will say that
episode 5 said, don't worry about that, fam.
But I will say that
also defund time travel. I'm gonna say it up front because I already know, but defund time travel.
Fair enough.
Respectfully.
I think Storm's story is the most interesting, at least for me, because if it was done properly, it would be at least half a season of like her going on this journey.
10 episodes, you can't do that.
I know it's not going to happen. So for me,
it's a 30-minute show, bro.
I'm good to like drop off again until maybe the end and we like revisit this. And like try to like clean through the original episodes.
Well, let us know what you think. If you've watched it or if you actually like joined back in and was like, "Oh, I'm caught up now."
Right. I watched that last episode so I could jump back into the
right. Because you cared that much to come back to the video. Whatever. Let us know how you feel. Are you enjoying the X-Men 97? I think I am, mainly because this is more of like snapshots or animations for storylines that I know I wouldn't have gotten back in the 90s. Censorship would not have allowed for an Inferno storyline. Censorship would not have allowed for an Ethos.
Really?
Yeah.
For her to be a witch?
First of all, her outfit. Second of all, the whole like Scott having two lovers thing. 90s censors would have been like, So I think they alluded to it with Sinister and like, oh, I want to make a X-Men child, a child from all that, and you're like, But we all know how that gets
Whoa,
right.
They did the nasty
giggity. So I think all right, that's enough. So so I think this is more of just like seeing those snapshots of famous storylines that happened in the 90s that we weren't able to get an opportunity to see.
Fair enough.
So moving on, we got culture. And we may not be the most qualified to talk about it, but
what?
I feel like I need diss rap or rap disses to just die off. And I say that, but then quickly follow up with this statement. If there's anyone that's good currently at making really good diss tracks, whoever is ghostwriting for him or whoever's producing them, Drake is really good at diss rap.
You said whoever's ghostwriting for him.
I said what I said. I stand on it. Moving on, I do feel like as a culture and us being, would we be the target audience for this? Because for real,
for diss rap,
I would feel like we are, mainly because we existed for
Meek Mills when he was on the streets.
But even before that, right? Like rap. Eminem, Death Row, and all those things. I feel like with so much of black culture focusing on healing.
Cock back a bazooka, blow off half his face.
Like this rap made sense when it was like gang culture. Like we don't really have that. And that's not like the highlight anymore of rap.
Sure. I
like East Coast, West Coast, sure. Bang bang, shoot 'em up, pow pow. But this don't really feel like that.
So and I think this is my question about it, especially with this. So at the time of this recording, Drake has just recently dropped off his response to Kendrick's verse on Future Boomin', Metro Boomin', Metro Boomin' by Future and some people. Granddad.
Old man Josh.
Old man Josh.
The hippity hops and the clippity clops
on their TikToks. So
you got your iPads and your iPods.
What's interesting to me is that I wonder if Drake came at it or is coming at it from a old school diss track mindset, and is Kendrick trying to usher in friendly competition?
No. Drake's target audience is little white boys who want to say the N-word.
That doesn't mean anything about what Kendrick's thing is about.
Hold on. His target audience is little white people. And that's fine.
Little white people.
It's just tiny white people. It's just like 14-year-old white people who are just like, I really want to be a part of this life. Fam,
I feel like he would disagree, but okay.
Whatever. And I think when you listen to people like Kendrick, there's more focus on art and expression. Even his verse in the future, like that, right? Or like that was what it's called. That doesn't really feel like he's saying anything other than the fact that, like, when I'm in the booth, it's just me. I'm not thinking about who else is on this level. I'm on my own level. When he said, F the big three is just big me.
Right.
Sure, you can take that disrespectfully, but if you're someone who has received all of these accolades and broken records that rap has never even gotten to before.
What do you mean? He's the one who got the Pulitzer Prize.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, he has the accolades.
Right.
So him going into the booth and saying it's just big me, he's justified in that.
But what I
don't think it was a diss, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying it wasn't a...
No, he's like, this is a good time to talk about me and say, just clarify, it's me.
That sounds like a diss, though.
No.
And that energy, it sounds like a diss. Because look. Here's my thing.
LeBron don't go around being like, hey, there's a whole bunch of names in the competition. No. LeBron says my name is LeBron James.
But here's my thing, though. When you think about, because if you think about it in context, the control verse, right?
Right.
And what he says in the control verse, it's a very much of a like, hey, matter of fact, he says it like actually explicitly, like,
right.
I got love for all y'all, but this is hip hop and y'all should know what time it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the control verse is a different Kendrick from this, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know.
The control verse, he named names. He was very vocal about who he was talking about.
Sure.
This is not the same.
I think this is the same.
No, to me, it's saying I have worked too much to really be a part of anybody else's conversation about, to
keep my name out.
It really is. It's like if One Piece was like in the conversation, One Piece is like, I got thousands of episodes on all y'all. Don't mention my name in any conversation about anime, because who got more episodes than me?
I'm saying
if we're just
not a proper comparison.
I'm talking about
not a proper comparison. And I'm triggered. We're not gonna go there.
I'm talking about. Excuse me. You got me spitting mad. I'm talking about if we're just talking about strictly off of like the run, right? One Piece could be like, there's no one else out in these streets doing what I'm doing in shonen anime, right? That could just be, we're just talking about episode length. We're not talking about quality, story, whatever. But I'm saying when it comes
How
to
can you not talk? Let's stop. Hold on.
Let me go.
Let me go.
Go ahead.
You've already done.
You've already.
You've already.
We're friends.
But what I'm saying is, fucking touch.
Don't put your hands on me.
I think the Kendrick in Control. One is smoke, shot off a flare, ain't nobody fly by.
Because they knew already.
So he was like, all right, cool, whatever.
They knew already.
I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to still do my own thing.
Boy, fire.
And then on this song with Sharpshooter, J. Cole just...
First person shooter.
First person shooter.
Come on, Grandpa.
The sharpshooters, it was the Call, they got the Call of Duty.
Bang bang shoot 'em.
It was the Call of Duty song.
Sure.
It was the GoldenEye song, actually.
Banjo Kazooie.
Perfect Dark, I think it was.
Go ahead, come on.
So in the Golden Gun song, what they said was, J. Cole was very much like, hey, it's all three of us. Ha ha ha. We're all friends. We're all in this together.
We're singing and we're
colored. And so Kendrick took that opportunity to be like, oh, here's my chance. There in that moment. And so he fired off again. But when J. Cole did that, Kendrick was like, oh, this is my opportunity to like, all right, let's get into it again, because I think Kendrick wants competition. What's interesting is we never hear about him being in like that battle rap era, but I could easily see Kendrick being on the like in like Good Kid, Mad City. Like one of the cutscenes could have been like him on the corner
battle rapping
with somebody, like a bunch of gang members or whatnot. Like, and that's why he hung out with them, or they accept him in the group. So I think I would like to believe, and I say this because I don't think Kendrick and Drake are about to be on some like East Coast West Coast like
no.
shoot 'em up. I don't think it's gonna end up with somebody getting shot.
I don't think Kendrick's gonna say another thing about it for a while.
You don't think he's gonna come back?
No, because he said what he said. He's standing on business.
In the game of rap, though,
sure, he doesn't.
Or in the game of diss tracks, and
he doesn't lose any.
Rap.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't lose any credibility if he
don't say nothing.
If he don't say nothing,
I disagree.
Kendrick fans know whatever project comes out next for Kendrick, if he don't talk about it, he's still putting out fire.
I disagree.
I disagree with you. Is what I'm saying.
I think
we're still friends, but I disagree.
No,
with
we're
you.
not. I think that will whatever he put out still be fire? Yes. Will people look at him slightly different for popping off twice, and now he actually got a response, and they ain't get into it?
This is not the WWE. It's
for Drake. Are rap fans really that mature?
For Drake, sure. I'm saying for Kendrick, and especially after J. Cole was like, "Hey y'all,"
I ain't mean that.
My energy was off.
I ain't even wanted, but like that makes sense though.
Sure,
for J. Cole,
for a healed nigga,
for J. Cole,
sense.
Like it makes sense,
and
that's why I'm not mad at. I'm not that. That's not the thing. But for Kendrick to be like, "Ain't no big three, it's just big me."
Right. Hold on.
You and everything you think, and then Drake be like, "Ho, I got words."
You got Drake on this side, petty nigga, right? Kendrick on the J. Cole on this side, healed nigga. Kendrick is right here, and he don't have to go either way.
I think he leans a bit more petty than.
I don't think so. I feel like he'll be right in the middle, and now that Kendrick was like white flag,
J. Cole
was like white flag. I don't think he has to say anything. Because no one thinks Drake raps.
And I think that's the thing, though. People, like, because he does a lot of pop hits, and he be on, like, he get money off that, and, like, more power to him. But then every time somebody, like, steps to him, and he's like, wait, I think y'all forget just because I was on Degrassi, like, I got bars. Honestly, I forgot. And then he put that out. I was like, oh, you can rap? You be rapping? You be rapping? Is he rapping on the same, like, if him and Kendrick really got into like some like
back and forth
battle
bars.
rap, I don't know if he could hold his own, but I think people count him out because of the music he is known for making and what pays the bills.
Sure.
Quite well, honestly.
They paying the bills. 4-year-old white kids are buying these albums.
But people be forgetting that he also has bars. And I think now this is, if there is anybody to put your bars against, it would be Kendrick.
Like I said, this is going to stir up more of the Drake camp than the Kendrick camp. Most of the Kendrick camp is like, we love everything you've done. If you don't do another thing for us, you're done enough. And I feel like once you understand that about Kendrick Lamar, you don't really feel like he has to throw his hat in the ring. Now, I felt like if people was beefing with Lil Wayne, maybe I'd be a little bit more inclined to be like, oh.
If he was beefing with Lil Wayne.
Like, if it was Kendrick versus Lil Wayne, maybe I'd be like, all right, I'm here. I'm locked in. And maybe Kendrick would have to, like, reply. But here's how I feel about the whole thing. Is
interesting.
I'm less inclined to really pay attention to this because I'm like, it's all entertainment.
Sure.
Even the conversation is just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
What does it profit me to really be like, no, J. Cole, no, Kendrick? When he was like, hey, I'm losing sleep over this. I was like, respect. Now we can all go to sleep.
Now we're all done.
Yeah, we're all done.
And
we're
Drake was like, alarm clock, nigga.
Y'all should have waited just a few more minutes.
That's very funny.
I feel like, honestly, I'd rather see us working toward the goal of like building a Wakanda together than doing this diss rap stuff.
If that's the segue you want to use.
See, you ruined it.
Because
You see how you ruined it? You see how disingenuous you made that statement? I was doing so well. And you could have been like, ooh, respect. Moving on. Great segue, Dan. You see how you hated on that? Matter of fact, I'm going to go, after we done this, diss track on Josh. I'm done. Okay? Big 2, big 1.
Okay.
Big Dan.
So,
Bars.
Do you want to talk about the weekend?
I don't even know. What?
Because your segue made it seem like you want to jump down.
Sure. And we could have came back to that and wrapped up
Okay.
with it. But see, you see how you did it? I don't like that.
Live show, baby. All right, so we're going to talk about...
We did some things this weekend.
Yeah.
Went to Philly Otaku Fest.
Philly Otaku Fest.
And
legally.
had a great time.
Yeah. I went all 3 days.
Power to you. I have 2 kids. Like,
It's fair.
We were only there for a few hours and they were like,
Hey, guys.
hey dad.
Hey.
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Yeah, no, I got to post it. I was literally I wanted to post it today, all day today. And, you know.
Granddad.
Life, work,
Tomorrow.
bills, all the things. But y'all see them. I'm going to put some on that for Izakaya, some of them.
I posted a few pictures, like,
Yeah, you kids.
my kids,
You kids made it.
It was a great time. I do feel like the numbers crazy leap from last year to
apparently was it Saturday they got
Saturday
3,000?
was almost 3,500.
3,500.
3,500. I'm like,
That's dope. And that was honestly Sunday was like was it 75 and sunny and like let's get in it, let's get at it. So I can only imagine that they had more people, but
and just shout outs to like a free event.
yeah. For it to be that many people, free event, you had alcohol.
I was actually talking with Kenny, Tomcat,
AKA Tomcat.
and he was like, this feels like a nerd block party. And that's the vibe that they're going for. And I feel like if they continue to stay with this model, props to them.
All they need now is a DJ.
I mean,
If you're making it a block party, and to be fair, no, in all seriousness, it was a great time.
oh, it's structured. They got events for everybody. Next year, if you haven't gone, if you didn't go this year, next year,
Yeah, you should definitely go next year. I saw some people who came last year, the bull Reginald, or I think his real name is Noah. I don't know. He signed. So
Reg the Governor
Reg the Governor
is his handle.
Yeah,
and,
you'll see it on my Instagrams. But he was there last year. He was there again this year.
Yeah. Craze Kai
was there, who is actually the artist of a guest that we had last week. That was last week. Okay.
Time be fine,
bro.
Time be fine.
It's
okay,
Khalil.
Granddad.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Of Khalil, the creative. So definitely check her stuff out. I didn't know that. I didn't ask their pronouns. That's why I was worried.
Their stuff
I didn't know.
is fine.
Okay.
Using the word "there" makes sense in all instances.
I just didn't want to get canceled. That's all. Keeping that in, right?
That's the one thing you should keep in.
Right.
If you don't keep anything else in, maybe you cut the Akon stuff. Right? But anyway.
But no, legit. So that was cool meeting them. And saw Kenny. Actually, he was drawing like he usually be doing.
Drawing like drawing art.
Yeah,
and not drawn in the negative sense.
Yeah, he wasn't
like
drawn. Yeah,
right,
he was drawing. He was sketching.
We're from Philly,
right? He was
saying
sketching.
the word "drawn" could mean
so many things.
So
he was sketching when I walked up on him.
Yeah,
and then he then he proceeded to draw.
I met. I want to make sure I get this right. Sherman.
Oh, who's that?
From Origin of Play.
Ah,
Got to talk with him. Hopefully I'll be able to post that content soon.
That was cool.
You know, I was walking around asking people like, is Cyclops a cop? I ain't get a lot of answers in my favor, but fine. You know, maybe they make the videos, maybe they don't. Maybe they get lost. Maybe they go somewhere
Maybe
and
they
you never see
Akon
them.
City, you know? Like, they take a trip.
You know, saw the bots.
Yeah, Bots
know.
was there. That was dope.
So listen, man. If the Nerd Block Party is the name that they have to go to for it,
I think that's not a bad Otaku block party.
Otaku Block Party sounds fire. Hey,
OBP.
Philly Otaku, reach out to us. We out here. Anyway, we got something else coming up.
Yes, another con. It's beginning of con season.
Are we a part of this now? Like, is this something we do?
I think it is.
Oh, it took a while.
Well,
there was a pandemic.
Yeah,
Then,
but
you know, people had families.
it'd be happening.
You got married.
Yeah.
You know. Idealistic Con though, May 18th.
May 18th. That is a Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
Opening
Sábado.
the doors at 12. You can buy the tickets online now.
Ooh,
They're cheaper. I believe they're $20
online.
Okay.
Cool,
You pay more at the door.
Oof.
So
Do that.
buy them online.
Buy them online.
If you buy them online now, you may get a badge, and I believe you get a badge if you buy them online. Which is, if you're familiar with cons, a badge is normally just like a little token of their appreciation to let you know that you're there.
Gotcha.
It's
a good time. I'm gonna
be there. You have a whole panel. Like
I got a
trivia section.
A trivia section about anime. So
nobody asked me to do a comic book thing, and that's fine.
Hey, I think that's best.
We are the originators. Y'all jumped in on this whole nerd train thing. Y'all are late. First of all, y'all the babies of the nerd community.
Who, anime?
Tell me I'm wrong. Comic book
with
nerds have existed since the 1930s.
I think I disagree with that.
1930s.
Because
tell me I'm wrong.
Because the thing is, even if you're a comic book nerd, sure, that's one thing. But like
the convention, the comic book convention is what came first.
But anime was literally a whole different thing on a whole different legit side of the earth.
Sure. But nerds though? Like anime nerds? Y'all knew is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that
seems like you're trying to gatekeep or something.
I'm not gatekeeping. I'm just saying
this divide.
It was the way that you were like, you know, which is best.
Only
for
because
us to not do comic book trivia. Like first of all,
that's
I would make it. I would make it very inclusive.
Would you?
I would. Not deep cuts. You know.
When I say I think it was best is because I believe that you would have some deep cuts that like
that's only if we get to like a tournament round where you're just like, who we
gotta
we gotta decide a winner, you know.
We have to decide a winner. You know, it's a trivia. Somebody gotta win.
Somebody gotta win is what I'm saying. But if it's not that and it's just for people to have a good time and enjoy themselves, I keep it light. MCU stuff only. DCEU stuff only.
I'm not gonna say
public
I don't
knowledge
you.
only.
I don't know.
I would definitely ruin somebody.
I was about to say. I feel like I've been with you on this podcast long enough to know that.
Are we friends? Is that what you're saying?
We are friends, and I think you would throw some.
Are you
stuff
saying
in
I'm
there.
petty like that?
No, I don't think you're petty. I think you don't know what other people don't know.
Ooh.
I think you take your reality.
I hope your trivia goes off. I hope everybody is like, Josh did his thing with the trivia. So inclusive. So I just hope it goes off.
I feel like I'm in that scene of, what is it? Sorry to bother you.
I'm trying to get like you.
I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great day. What you use? Oh, you showered today? Oh, that smells real nice. What's that, mahogany?
Yeah,
oh,
nigga. Yeah, nigga. I hope you have the best trivia that anyone has ever seen at a con. They'll be like, hey, yo, Josh did his thing, y'all. I'm talking about inclusive, picked animes that most everybody knows, even if they don't watch them. Man. Matter of fact, show up to Idealistic Con just for his thing.
Just for that.
just to go see Josh do his trivia. I want to make sure that everybody knows how inclusive he is going to make this thing. I want y'all to listen, live stream that. Matter of fact, I'm going to go live while you doing your thing just to be like, yo, Josh is doing his thing, man.
So
man.
that is probably why I felt like he might do some things. But I want you guys.
Shout out to the producer in the chat talking about super petty. Stay over there.
Stay way over there. Way over there. Yo, what I would really appreciate is if you guys sent in funny and weird questions for Nandeska Neko-chan that we will answer. As you bring them in, we'll pick them out and we'll do it. So
yes.
Do you have a quest item for us?
I do have a quest item. I'm gonna give y'all a Motendo.
A Motendo?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that do?
It takes you to all of the areas of your video game nostalgia and lets you realize that life is not a video game. It's not cursed, but you know.
It's almost like a hyperbolic time chamber.
A little bit of that, a little bit of fun, a little bit of catharsis. And then, you know, you wake up and you realize maybe I should be grateful for where I'm at in life right now. And maybe I've evolved from like Rap Diss and Akon City.
And on that note,
y'all have a blessed night. And we hope Josh has a fire trivia set. Peace.